You are now listening to the Internal Affairs podcast.
Welcome back. This is the Internal Affairs podcast. Oh man, it's been a while, but nonetheless we back. Chapter 4, Matters of the Heart. Real life happy. That's where we at with it. But before I get into the subject matter, into the content, I just want to give my subscribers, my viewers, I want to give y'all an update on what's really been going on with me in the last 2.5-3 months. First and foremost, I've been putting out a lot of visual content finally over on my YouTube channel. If you're not already subscribed, go over there to Creators District. That's Creators spelled with a Z. And check out the content. I feel like I finally warmed up to the camera because me personally, I do not like people in my face. I do not like people in my private spaces and things of that nature. But for the sake of connection, communication, and sharing, I'm all for it. So I finally broke through that threshold. I finally got through that barrier. And man, I feel like I'm a little nervous coming back to the podcast, and I'm a little rusty. But I think I'm more excited than anything. I'm more excited to share with y'all like this good vibe I got, this good glow I got. And this is what happens when we don't cheat the process. This is what happens when we go through the Matters of the Heart, chapter 1, 2, 3, and we finally get to the healing. We finally get to the part 4. We finally get the real life happy. So we're going to get into that. Man, I think y'all already know I moved from all the way up north, all the way to down south. I think I shared that with y'all on my last podcast, but I've been getting more healthy. I just been loving on myself more, man. I just been accepting myself more, accepting my flaws, seeing where I'm great at, and most importantly, not giving two shits about what nobody think. That's what the real life happy kick in at. So before we really actually get into that, I just we gotta run through chapter 1, 2, and 3, right? Because I feel like they all have a life of their own. They all came from a different place. And they all had a different reason, They all had a different healing aspect to them. I'm so happy I shared that with the world because it was raw for me. It was new for me. It was something I was going through, and I felt like, even though I feel like this, I know it's other people out here in the world that go through the same thing every day, So I'm like, I wanted to share that with y'all. So I'm very excited to finally be at the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. But yeah, we're gonna dig into the themes of the chapter 1, 2, and 3, and you know what they say, you don't know where you're going until you know where you've been. So for those of you that haven't heard the prior Matters of the Heart podcast, I would advise you to catch up, and tap into that and see how we got here. For those of you that been following me, that been on this journey, that been through the heartbreak on both ends of the spectrum, y'all already know, but let's do the review, right? So chapter 1, Matters of the Heart, it was more about the initial being hurt, you know what I'm saying, of like, damn, I'm hurt, like when you're vulnerable, when you're open, when you have high expectations, when you project your good qualities onto another person, and when you basically give yourself to someone, and not only give yourself to someone, but you give them the job that you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to accept and love yourself, but you asking them to do it because you don't know how, and it's a scary process. And I felt like chapter 1 was pretty much just a shock. Just the like, oh shit, that hurt. Oh shit, I invested all this time. Wow, like this is not what I thought it was headed. This is not what I signed up for, type of feeling. With the, all the confusion, all the anger, constantly thinking about the same thing over and over, wishing it could be different. It was that stage, right? Chapter 1 was, just being in that low space and not really seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, right? So we moved on to chapter 2, right? We got to chapter 2, and chapter 2 was entitled hurt, because I feel like that was the stage to where you like, alright, I'm in some shit, you know what I mean? And I got to deal with it. This other person hurt me. This other person did me dirty. You know, it's still a blame game. You probably still point the finger a little bit. You still angry. You still confused, because you're human, and you should be, right? It's a process, right? We're going to talk about the process of not cheating the process, right? We just saw Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks win a championship, and they only had two of the players from their 2013 team that was still on that team. Two players that stayed down, didn't cheat the process, and they showed the world that you don't have to take a shortcut. You don't have to go join forces with other entities just to win. You can just stick to the process, stick through the adversity, and persevere. So I feel like I said, Hurt Chapter 2, Matters of the Heart Chapter 2, Hurt was more of the realization, like, alright, I'm fucked up. It was the R&B song. When you're listening to the R&B songs and you're still wishing it was different, and you're going down memory lane, but you kind of coming more to the realization of, damn, you know, I gotta deal with this. I have to function. I have to still make money. I have to still take care of my children. I have to still operate in a healthy manner, right? But I'm fucking hurt, right? This is where you kind of accept, like, yeah, I'm going through some shit. I'm in some shit I didn't know I was going to be in. I ain't, you know, now you're there. I feel like that's where hurt came from, the acceptance. Then we moved on to chapter 3, which was entitled Let It Burn, right? This is the true acceptance. This is when it's like, okay, I'm going through this. I might not be the same person. I'm becoming a different person. These are my emotions. It's about, I think chapter 3 was more about accountability, right? It was more about accepting your hand in your part, and really just coming to the grips with, like, damn, I gave another person my job. You know how they say, yo, you had one job, like, just to love yourself. That's all you had to do. It sounds easy, right? But we gave it away. So, like, you can't, like they say, you can't send a boy to do a man's job type of thing. So it's like you ask somebody to do something for you that you never knew how to do. So if they was to do it for you, you still wouldn't recognize it. So it's like, it's kind of like we destined to get our heart broke. I think heartbreak is, you know, I think it's healthy. I know it's healthy when you don't cheat the process. It's a lot of people that get stuck on Matters of the Heart Chapter 1, and I'm not knocking you. If you did at Chapter 1 right now to where you just had the initial hurt, that's all good. That's cool. But just know you got to go through the process. Just know, stay down. Just know, there's really light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is going to be you. So yeah, Chapter 3 was Let It Burn, like Usher. It was like, yeah, I'm hurt. Yeah, that hurt me. But now you started to realize that being vulnerable played, like, you know what I mean? Like, how I want to word this. You start to realize being vulnerable is not just a bad thing. You start to come up out of your shell. You start to release the fact that, okay, I can't have my guard up. Like, it's not healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't be paranoid all day. I can't be on alert all day. I can't blame the people that's in my life now for what the people did behind me. You know what I mean? So you let it simmer down. You let it burn. You let it dissipate. You take it on the chin. It is what it is. You at that point. And then we here right now. We got that glow. You feel me? Matters of the Heart, Chapter 4. Real life happy, man. And what do I mean by that when I say real life happy? I just mean not that social media smile, not for the likes, not for the shares, not with anybody else's validation. You just happy within yourself. You validated. And it be simple shit now. Like, I promise you. You know how you just glowing and you just so happy that like, for example, man, me holding the door for people. I mean, I've always been polite. I've always done nice gestures towards people. But even that, it's like it's in slow motion now. clouds are more puffier. The rain is beautiful. The sound of the rain is beautiful now. The birds seem to just be chirping for me. You know what I mean? Because we at a point where we started to integrate and embody the acceptance of who we were and who we are, and like what it took to get here. And that's what I mean about not cheating the process. If we gonna get into a space of being real life happy, we had to be present in the stage when we wasn't real life happy, when we was just fronting a little bit, when we was just giving ourselves freely and not having no boundaries and getting walked all over and playing victim and things of that nature. And to make it to be to a space where you're real life happy, right? It comes with accepting the part that you played, having an objective view on why you were in that situation to even allow somebody to treat you like that. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, it's a process. You know, like just look at the NBA. Like I said, Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks just showed the world that you don't need a super team. You don't need to team up with a whole bunch of other entities just to win. You could stick out through the process and you could be holistic. What do I mean by that? You accept your flaws. You accept the fact that you don't know. You accept the fact that you've been confused. You accept the fact that it's all right. And you don't let nobody fool you no more. You don't fool yourself no more about being weak or you don't put that bad vibe on them things no more. You understand that's a part of being you. That's a part of being human. And through that, it opens up more space for you to actually be content and satisfied where you at, who you are, even with the understanding that there's room for improvement, right? You don't have to jump out here and show your best face to the world all the time. You can show your authentic face to the world. You feel me? And you will be able to admit and be happy and be praising those bad times, those dark times when you was confused, when you was down and out, when you was overlooked, and things of that nature, right? So, real life happy, what is that about? What does that feel like? It feels like confidence, right? And confidence in many things. It feels like having confidence that you know you can set boundaries. It's like a confidence that you could face your own emotions even when they're dark, even when they're, pulling you, spiraling down and pulling you down. You realize I've been in this space before. It's temporary. In chapter 1, 2, and 3, we thought it was forever. You know what I'm saying? Especially in chapter 1 and 2, we thought like this was where we reside at. We just gonna be hurt and messed up forever. And it is some people that do get there and stay there because they keep on pointing at the personal situation. They keep on blaming the other person and not taking their share in what has transpired. And they stay the victim in a situation. Every time you hear them talk, every time they expressing themselves, they always paint themselves as the victim. Woe is me. This happened to me. They never came to the realization of how all the events that transpired in a perfect way to build them up. But because they didn't face adversity, because they didn't persevere through it, they don't know that you can be real life happy, right? And that, like I said, it comes with a lot of patience. It comes with a lot of pain. It comes with a lot of...
You are now listening to the Internal Affairs podcast.
Truth, right? Because people love to throw that word around. The truth this, the truth that, but it's hard and it's scary as hell to face the truth of who you truly are and what you truly are. For example, if you ask somebody about me, right? If you ask 10 people that know me about me, 5 people gonna say I'm a piece of shit and 5 people gonna say I'm a superhero. Depending on what the timeline that they had to experience with me, right? So when I look at that, I'm like, man, I'm not all good, I'm not all bad, In the eyes of other people and the eyes of myself, I have to accept the fact that I have shortcomings, that I am inadequate in certain areas, that I don't know everything, right? And the most beautiful part is I can accept the fact that I don't have to be these things. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to put on a facade for nobody. I don't have to fit into nobody's box. And that's where the freedom come from. And by you getting your heart broke, and like I spoke on the other podcast too, sometimes breaking other people's heart. Let's talk about that. That shit hurt too. It hurt me to hurt somebody else. And I spoke on that on Matters of the Heart Part 3, Let It Burn. It hurt me to hurt somebody else. And that's the mark. I think that's the mark of a person with truly that has a good heart. You know, it was a time I felt like, damn, I must be a fucked up person. I must be a bad person because I let somebody down. I told somebody no. I had to walk away from some people that I felt like wasn't for me. And without really truly reconciling with them and them having an understanding of where you going and where you coming from, it'd be hard. You know what I'm saying? It'd be hard to do what's best for you. And that's how you get to real life happy. Doing what's best for you, what's healthy for you. I don't want to just say what's best, because we truly as humans, we don't know what's best for us. But we can gauge what's healthy for us. And Matters of the Heart, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and Chapter 3 helped us see and help us recognize the things that aren't healthy for us and the things that are healthy for us. And always starting with ourselves, what we allow in our sacred space, what we allow ourselves to feed on, and who we allow in our space and who we allow to feed on us, because we should be in spaces where everything is reciprocated, right? But we know that now, because we over to the real life happy side, we over to the goofy side, the silly side, the glow side, you feel me? It's the glow up time. So now we got a leg to stand on. All we realizing, damn, all them things that happened in the past was just building a stage for me to sing on, was just building a platform for me to have, building some wisdom, you feel me? And that's the thing about being real life happy. You gotta be a fool first to be the wise one. You gotta be a fool first to have a testimony, to have anything to say, to connect with anybody. You gotta go through the fire, you gotta go through the mud, and so you can see the whole 360. So you get the whole perspective, and you'll realize, it was perfection in it. And like I said, a lot of people don't see the perfection because they give up on, they get stuck on Chapter 1, and they never begin to heal. You know what I'm saying? They just continue to blame. And hopefully, you know what I mean, they find their space, they find their release, because I feel like it ain't healthy to stay in places too long. I feel like by you just wanting to heal and just wanting to forgive and wanting to move on, and even though you don't know how, just truly and honestly and purely wanting to heal or get you to a space where you could just be happy with the simple things in life. You don't have to gain your validation from outside sources such as social media or a romantic partner or a friendship or a sorority or a partnership or a business or whatever, a corporation. You just happy in your own skin, right? And why are we happy in our own skin now? Because we know what we capable of. We know we was worth it the whole time, but we had to sit out through the whole thing. We had to give it time, attention. We had to see the worst parts of ourselves, the parts that set us and put us in that place to be used, abused, or be a user or abuser. But it's all good once you heal. You know what I'm saying? It's all good once it comes full circle. But if you only going to look at the initial hurt or look at the results of what came from it in the beginning, then you ain't gonna get there. I really love doing this, man, because I really feel like anytime you vulnerable, you headed somewhere. And that could be towards some pain, that could be towards some hurt, but what's going to get you out of that pain and hurt and get you to real life happy is being vulnerable again. And that's the hardest part, because when we initially got hurt, and even once we get to a space where we kind of alright with ourselves, still jumping back in to the game and opening up to somebody else is like, it's still very frightening, it's still very scary, and it still feel like a risk. But now we more grounded. Now we know who we are. Now we know what love is, because we give it to ourselves every day. You know what I'm saying? We doing the extra salt baths and the extra skincare and learning how to just give ourselves time off and relax and meditate and not feeling like we have to do and produce all the time. You feel me? Now we valuing our time, our space. So we recognize that in another person. Now we recognize when it's not there. We recognize when we see a person that just wants your energy and just want to bring a straw through. You feel me? We recognize people that don't want no understanding. They just want to criticize and ridicule you and things of that nature, and are jealous and envious and things of that nature. And shout out to them people too, because like I said, as long as you don't cheat the process, then you're going to make it to real life happy, and can't nobody take that from you. You went through it. That's your testimony. Those your memories. Those your feelings. Those your emotions that you dug through, and that helped transform you and helped shed the things that was hindering you. You feel me? And it's going to be people that's not going to understand that. Let's talk about that. It's going to be people that's hating. It's going to be people that's look at you and say, you ain't healed, or they ain't who you really is. They still stuck on the old version of you, and they don't know you upgraded to 2.0. You feel me? But they know though. They see the glow. They be knowing. But trust and believe, they keep their distance because they know it's boundaries and standards now. You feel me? And if they're not willing to live up to that, then they don't have no space in your life, and you probably ain't beat for them anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I think having haters and people that's watching you and criticizing you and things like that is necessary, and it's healthy to a certain extent, as long as you don't get polarized and believe in it and care about it and shit like that. But we on real life happy time, so you definitely at this point you could care. You can't even fathom how it feels to even think about what another person think about you at this point. You done been through it all. You know what I'm saying? Or you in that process of going through it all, so you starting to not give a fuck about shit nobody said. But you gotta love your haters too, because I learned this, man. A lot of times people just hate you because they got a misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying? They got a misunderstanding with themselves. It don't even really be about you. I understand. I'm not perfect. I understand that I make mistakes. I understand that I can be wrong. I can be misguided. I can be misinformed. I could misjudge, right? So I see the perfection in it. So I realize everything can come full circle, and hopefully one day these people see that too, and they'll realize it ain't no enemy. They're their own enemy. They're their own villain, and they're their own savior. And that's the beauty of being real life happy. You realize you in this shit. You came in this world by yourself. You're gonna leave by yourself. And while you here, it's all right to open up to somebody. Because now I feel like I'm in this, I feel invincible, like I can't be hurt because I know me. I'm not going to tolerate certain things because I know me now. I know the value of me. How do we know the value of ourselves now? Because we got broken into pieces, right? And what happened? We had to pick all those pieces up and put them together. So now we didn't cut our hand on these pieces. We didn't had to glue them back together, and but we know the blueprint now. So we know it when we see it, we know it when we feel it, and we know it when we don't. And most importantly, once you really truly have your heart broken and heal, or break somebody's heart and get through it and heal, you find purpose in your life. You find extra energy. You find that you got a testimony. You find that everything that was seeming to break you down was really building a stage for you. You know what I'm saying? And if I could do it all over again, should I do it? If it's going to lead to this, if it's going to lead to me being this comfortable and this authentic to myself and feeling this good in my own skin, I'll do that shit 1,000,000 times over again. As much as it hurt and as much as it felt like I would never, ever get out of that dark space. August 1st, though, let's get there, man. August 1st, the 1-year anniversary of the Internal Affairs podcast. Like I said, hopefully I don't know. I might go live on this one. Or I might do it live, or I might go live on like YouTube or Instagram. Y'all could tap into me. I'll let y'all know ahead of time, though. And we could just kind of have an intimate moment, and I could talk to whoever's out there listening. You feel me? Because I feel y'all energy, man. I know y'all rocking with me, and I know some of y'all get happy when y'all see me put out content. Some of y'all anticipate it. And that's another thing, man. Be cool with people misunderstanding you, because you once misunderstood yourself, and you probably still do. So that it's all good. It's all good. You know what I mean? It ain't no space for no type of ill intent or malicious feelings when you found when you found yourself. When you found out that, I was looking for me the whole time through other people. You found out that they was just characters in your play. You know what I'm saying? And you should send nothing but love to them. I don't care if they sending the worst shit in the world to happen to you, because at the end of the day, when you in this bubble of love right here, man, ain't nothing can't touch you. You feel me? But yeah, real life happy, man. Let's be okay with just being. And that's what real life happy is. I just want to make sure before I get off of this, I define that. It's about being present, right? And I know that might sound cliche, but I'm going to keep on. That's my mantra. Be present in the bad, in the good, in the uncomfortable, in the comfortable. Be present. This is life. You only have now. Real shit. Like, no matter what time is on your clock, it's always the moment. It's always now. And the only way to absorb these lessons and gain this wisdom is to be present in it, right? You don't want to have to always look back in retrospect and learn, even though that's very helpful. But with this new feeling, with this new vibe, with this real life happy, it's about being present and open and accepting that anything can happen, to all the possibilities, and not defining yourself by what happened in the past or what might happen in the future. Just being okay with being you. And I'm going to share a dream I had before I get up off of this. I learned that really in a dream I had about the rapper Nas, right? I had a dream one day, me and Nas was just walking down the street, regular, like how you would with your best friend, right? And I was looking at him because I'm like, yo, this is Nas, like the legendary Nas, you know what I'm saying? But he was just walking regular, like a regular person. And what I absorbed from that dream was he was showing me like, yo, no matter how many songs I got on the billboards, no matter how many albums I went platinum and how much fame and money I got, I still have to live life day by day. I still have to eat, sleep, and shit like everybody else. I still have to be able to look people in their eyes and have some form of humility. And that's what that taught me. And that's what being real life happy is about. It's about being humble. But at the same time, understanding where you're powerful at, understanding where you're supposed to be confident at, and not looking for any of those things from the outside world. Understand that it ain't on you, it's in you. Like Star Wars said, the force is within you, the love is within you. It's abundant, it's overflowing, it never stops. You feel me? You just gotta look inward and not outward, man. I think that's all I got, man. I love y'all, yo. Like, really love y'all. I hope y'all can feel all of this love I got for y'all. Like, real talk. Like I said, August 1st, the anniversary, we will be back, and I'm gonna holler at y'all on the next one.
You are now listening to the Internal Affairs podcast.